name is Angie Amra Anderson. I am Ra. Iwe, 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 oh yeah, Iwe, oh yeah, Iwe, oh yeah, Iwe, oh yeah, Mini manu manule, alelo, Mini manu manule, alelo, Mini manu manule, alelo, Mini manu manule, alelo, Iwe. Hi, my name is Angie Amra Anderson. However, at 60, I've decided to be called just Amra. My first introduction into dance, that's quite a few years ago, was with the Bristol West Indian dance team. But before that, coming from a very Jamaican Caribbean home, music was fundamental, music was everything. We actually had dancing competition. My father was a dancer, he's an old-time shuffler, and he used to perform in the home. And gradually, out of 9 children, 8 of us at the time was born, 6 were performing at the Bristol West Indian Dance Team, which was a folkloric dance company run by Carmen Beckford and the late Terry Romaine. They brought traditional Caribbean folk dancing with an edge of contemporary flair to the young black people in Bristol. Remember, we're just coming out of segregation time as well. It took place in a beautiful community centre, and I just remember following my elder brothers and sisters. They were 6, as I said, actually performing in the team. So I was on the warm-up team, not quite ready for performance, but getting ready. And one thing I do remember is one of the music we practiced to, as well as what we used in the performance, was Music for Gong by Osibisa. And I'll tell you a little bit more what Osibisa means a lot in my life. I went to Catholic school, and before there was anything black at all, there was always different types of assembly performances. And that time, Bob Marley was making his breakthrough. And I was 9 years old, and I was a beautiful teacher, very unusual teacher, who said, let's try something different. We had an assembly, and the music she played was Stir It Up by Bob Marley. And Syria was reggae. They didn't know how to perform, they were cold, they were Catholic, they were straight, and they would step together, and then they asked me to go center, and I went, okay, let me go center. I'm showing them how to wine. Stir it up, hey. Little darling. And I did my little thing, and my teacher was like, oh my God, I've got a performer, let's put her in the center. That's when I got the bus. Now, of course, I was a little bit flamboyant at the time because I'm coming from the Andersons. The Andersons, notorious for dance, for community, for housing new people who just came from Jamaica. We would house them before they was able to get their own homes. So it was quite a big family. Of course, 9 children. Can you imagine 9 children? My mom was amazing and my father was very prolific. So 9 children in this whole environment. So at school, I came in almost second to last child going through St. Thomas, Moores and St. Nicholas was my primary school. Wow, this is very important because one thing I've gathered through research is that my DNA is connected to my ancestry. As we were walking from Bristol West Indian Dance Team rehearsals, we went past a community centre in Bristol called the Inkworks. And the Inkworks housed different workshops from different performers. Oh my gosh. I heard drums. I heard Ghanaian drums. It was prolific. The drums were interlocking, syncopated bells, shakers, rhythms that I've never heard before. Bristol West Indies has some fantastic music, really fantastic music. They had Caribbean style folk, steel pan music and stuff, but these were recorded. The moment we heard live drumming, that was it. We fell in love. I think our DNA was formed from that point till today. The very first group that introduced this drumming was called Steel and Skin. Now Steel and Skin was quite unique and they were prolific. They were a group of Ghanaians who were doing traditional folk dances, but there was also an amazing group from Trinidad called 20th Century Steel Pan. These were the height of Caribbean steel pan players. I mean, Bravo, Bubbles, Trumpos, all of these guys were from the Caribbean. Yet the blend was incredible. And then all of a sudden you've got four Andersons who came along and said, we could add to this juice. My brother at that time, Barrington Anderson, was the best limbo dancer in the country. And so we joined them by adding limbo, but also learning the traditional African dances to the drumming and steel pan. Well. You see, without research, without knowing your history, you would not know your ancestry. To do Jamaican folk dance, that was nice. But to start to put on grass skirts and to run around with bare feet and to put tie-dye costumes on and saying you are doing this as more than an after-school activity. For them, they was like, no, my parents was very strict. Of course, they were typical, they wanted the doctor, the lawyer, the nurse, and because I was told, okay, she would make a great policewoman. Me? I think we all were so committed to representing our culture that whatever they said, without being disrespectful, we ignored it. I started at 10 to 12 at the Bristol West Indian Dance, just training with the company. But at 12, I was professionally working. I was too young, I was really upset. Oh, my brothers and sisters, they were able to go to Germany. I want to go. I traveled to Tunisia and I was about 14 years old with ANGIE. And ANGIE was the first dance company, was a groundbreaking dance company, which pioneered in African arts, not just on stage, but in education. It was founded by a lot of us, including my brother, my sister, Lorna, Pauline, Barrington Anderson was a managing director, and a whole host of others. But there was probably four of us who was committed throughout the journey. I started to perform at major venues in England, and those venues was at Hammersmith Palais. I think it was about 10,000 audience at the time. Palace was another major venue, and one of those venues we decided, right, you know what? Steel and Skin, even though they were a London-based company, they used to do a regional workshop in our hometown in Bristol, but they couldn't come every day. So we decided we wanted to do much more. We wanted to bring dance to the forefront, and we asked them, can we separate and create our own dance company? And we did. Oh, I was very, 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 very young, 1976. Well, after looking at many, many different names, we had names, we wanted a name for unity. And we felt it was very important to find a name which was powerful and purposeful. So they said, unity is I said, oh my God, that's a bit long. Why couldn't we get a shorter name? So Ekomefemoye was shortened to Ekome. And Ekome is a very famous word which simply means one. So one unity, one people, one power. Steel and Skin introduced what was called workshops in the community. And workshops was a form of giving us an idea for the traditional dances. And what they didn't realize was they were getting 4 dancers who were already trained in Caribbean dance. So within 2 weeks, not 3, within 2 weeks, we began touring with Steel and Skin, literally up and down the country. And one of the things they loved doing was to bring these workshops to young people, and we followed that business model. So we took African dance into areas never before seen. So it was groundbreaking work. We went to schools, we went to colleges, universities, we went up and down the country, and there were a lot of Ghanaians, fabulous dancers, fabulous drummers. Yet the English language wasn't their first language, so therefore they wanted somebody else to explain it. So they threw me in the deep end, and at 15 I remember teaching my first class in schools. And they said, wow, she knows how to communicate this thing. And from then I've been teaching ever since.